Well, hello everybody. Uh, it's the second day, the second night. I've made it to St. Croix Falls, Wisconsin, and I'm at my location that I'm going to meet with the owner on Monday, and we're going to take care of an issue with the X195. Um, they've been really good about working on the X195. I've had several issues, not necessarily related to the build, but with some of the products that they used that are really good products. They got good reputations. Just my luck, I've had some problems, and they've always fixed it. Now, that being said, they're about 1,370 miles or so from my house. So it's a little bit of a juggling act to get up here where maybe some people couldn't do it. I have the opportunity to leave work when I need to, and I can drive up here. But the reason why I'm up here this time is my Truma Combi, which heats the RV and heats the water. Well, I'll be honest with you. Since I've had it for almost 2 years, it's sporadically worked. In June, the last time I went on a big trip, it what the heck? Did you hear that? I'm sure you did. But anyway, uh, back in June, we had a hard time with the hot water. We would set the hot water, turn it on, wait about 20, 30 minutes, go to get a shower, and sometimes it fired up. Sometimes it always fired up, but it would throw a code. So we would think we had hot water, get in the shower, no hot water. Or we would get one shower and it would throw a code when it came back on to recycle and there was no hot water. And it's been doing that with the heat for the last few months. And sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. If I cut the heat off and then try to turn it back on, or wait, half a day, try to turn it back on, um, it doesn't come on, or it'll throw a code 6 or 7 times, and then maybe eventually it'll fire up. And when it fires up, it's good. But then if you have it set on 70 and it warms up to 70, and then it gets down to 65, 66, it doesn't turn back on. It'll just never recycle or reset itself. So then you're sitting there, in the middle of the night playing with the buttons. You're 40 degrees inside, and you don't want your pipes to freeze. So you wake up and the heat's not working, and you just got to sit there. And sometimes you can get it to fire up, sometimes you can't. But I must say, my luck. Yesterday I drove for 14 hours. I was in Greenfield, Indiana, and it worked. It worked last night. um, it was a little bit chilly out there, and the heat would come on, it would come off. I actually turned the hot water on because I thought I might take a shower, and when I went to bed, and it kept the water hot all night. I don't know if there's a loose connection inside the unit or what. I'm not sure what's going on with it, but I did talk to the owner. Week before last, we had a local guy that was going to try to work on it, diagnose, see what's wrong. He didn't have a whole lot of experience with the Truma combis. He had experience with the hot water heater, but not the heat and water heater. And it's just not a lot of people that work on them where I live at, I guess. So I happened to call up here and talk to the owner, and you know, he said he would make it right. He said, bring it up, we'll pull it out, and we'll put a new unit in, and they would deal with Truma on warranty for the old one. Um, I don't know for sure if I'm going to be able to reenact. It. I don't want to cut it off right now, and then try to start it back up because it's cold up here. It's in the low 30s, below freezing at night, and I was going to winterize it before I brought it up here, but I went ahead and put about, 3/4 of a tank of fresh water in it so I could shower and, brush my teeth and stuff. Um, and I'm a little bit leery about cutting it off. So I think tomorrow night I'll probably cut it off and see if it starts back up. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. If it don't, I'll drain most of the water. We do have very much solar, and I have a portable heater. I don't have a skit for this. I'm just winging it and telling you what's going on. So I feel confident that the owner will just go ahead and replace it because, if it's some kind of connection inside the unit, which is what it would be. So I'm really hoping he's going to take care of that. Um, so that's the reason why I'm up here this time. This is my third trip here to the manufacturing plant. First time we were in Arizona, my wife and I, and it was pretty hot. It was, in the hundreds. And we were down at Quartzsite. We were actually at Kofa. I noticed the refrigerator wasn't working. It'd been getting warmer and warmer and warmer. And I thought maybe it was because it was too hot, outside, but that wasn't the case. It just, I don't know, just stopped working. And I called the owner of the company here and said, hey, look, I'm in Arizona. I can be in Wisconsin in 2 days. I need to replace my fridge freezer. And he said, well, okay, if you show up, I'll replace it. But you did. Came here, probably in 30 minutes. They had that one taken out and the new one put in. And I haven't had a problem with it since. The frame on these things, the body part, the steel part, they don't make. They have someone in North Dakota, I think, make them, or South Dakota, and they have where all the bends and everything are at. They have gussets to help, from any flexing or bending or anything. Well, I cracked two of the gussets up on the front where the angle comes back and bends around, and I didn't really know that I had done it. I had looking at a forum online, and somebody had made a complaint about it, and I said, "Man, I better go check mine and see if it's broke, because who knows?" And I do take this thing off road. Maybe some places maybe I shouldn't take it, but I figure if my truck can make it, this can make it. I crawled underneath of it, and sure enough, I had two cracks in the bends where they had welded it, and called up here and uh, told me to get a price from a local welder, which I did, and he, put new gussets on it, heavier gussets, and got everything welded up. And I think I can't remember if I actually paid the guy that did the welding and they reimbursed me. I think they reimbursed me and took care of the frame. So they've taken care of the frame. They've taken care of the fridge freezer. Um, and then back in June, my wife and I were out in Wyoming, I think, around Cheyenne, and we were dispersed camping. And I just happened to look up, and there was a wire hanging off the roof of the RV. I'm like, what the heck? So kind of crawled up there the best I could. Well, I was missing a solar panel. Solar panel didn't come off and gone. Who knows where, when. Hopefully nobody got hurt, but wasn't one on there. So, but it has plenty of solar, so I was still good with, charging the batteries and everything. But that was on a Friday, I think. It might have been a Thursday night. Anyway, this place is only open. They only work 4 days a week. They work 4 10-hour days, I think. So I told my wife, I said, well, I'm going to Wisconsin. She said, but we're in Wyoming. I said, darling, I'm going to Wisconsin, and I'm going to see if they can take care of this solar panel. I said, because I could buy it and put it on, but I want to have a matching solar panels. There's, I don't know, like 10 of them up there, I think, 10 or 11. The whole roof is solar, minus the air conditioning and a max air fan. Uh, So I got up here about, I think it was Sunday afternoon. There's a Walmart out here about, I don't know, quarter mile up the road here. And we stayed there, and I came over here about, I don't know, 7:30, 8 o'clock on that Monday morning, and walked in, and I talked to a guy, wasn't the owner, but I talked to a guy and I told him my problem. He said, well, back it on up here in the shop and we'll take a look at it. And he goes, go get some breakfast if you want, or just come back in an hour. And so we did. We left it and dropped it off and took the truck, went out and got some breakfast. And then we came back and they replaced the missing one and they replaced another one. And he did something with one of the charge controllers. It affected that somehow. One of them, I guess, had gotten cracked maybe when the solar panel came off, must have hit it. Anyway, they replaced 2 solar panels and reprogrammed everything and sent me on my way. So these things aren't cheap. They're expensive. Um, Probably more than an Airstream. I've had an Airstream. Um, they're not quite as nice as an Airstream on the inside, but they're pretty nice. But they're super, super capable of doing things. And I got three 360 amp hour batteries, 1,200 and something watts of solar, 60 gallons of fresh water, 60 gallons of gray water, no black tank. We have a dry flush toilet. Um, a Furrion, I think, induction stove, 12-volt Dometic fridge. Um, Everything works off, you know, off the solar. And as long as you have solar, everything will work. I mean, it's got a 30 amp shore power plug that you can plug into shore power, and you can do water if you choose to. You can actually siphon water out of a creek if you want to, and pump it into the tank. Um, so it's a pretty capable rig, and you know, I don't know what other people think, and you know what other problems people have had. I've looked on, you know, forums and stuff, and some people, you know, they have problems and they they try to fix it or get someone local. I don't know that they ever try to come back to the dealer, or not the dealer, but the manufacturer. I just know that if I take it to the manufacturer and they replace it, it's new. It's not fixed or repaired, I guess. It is fixed. Um, so, with all that being said, um, would I do it again? Now, this is the second one I've had. They make a 145 and they make a 195. Now they got a couple other ones. They got a they got a lesser expensive model. Um, I don't think it has all the air suspension and stuff like that. Then they got a little small one they're making now. I think it's called an Outback. And I've been looking at one of those to pull with the Jeep. Uh, so the 145 was fine, and the 195 is fine. The 195 is bigger. You got a little more room in it. Bathroom's the same size. You end up with a freezer, which we don't use. The refrigerator, I think, is the same size as the 145. The air conditioner's the same. The stove's the same. The refrigerator's the same. I mean, the sink's the same. You end up losing about 3 foot of cabinets overhead on both sides and 3 foot of the base cabinets. And your storage gets smaller. But as far as where the bed is, uh, right now we're north south. The bed is east west on a 145. You might lose a little bit of storage up there also. If you're going to camp in this thing and use it for a base camp, in other words, you're going to take it out on some forest road or BLM land and kind of camp out of it and leave it there and go off during the day with your truck and do, you know, do some exploring and taking some adventures, I would tell you to buy one. I would buy one in a heartbeat. If you're planning on rock crawling with it and dragging it across, you know, rough terrain that you probably shouldn't be on with a truck, maybe a Jeep or something, I don't know if I would do it or not. I'm not sure that's what they're intended for. Now, the 140, because it's tandem and it's a big trailer, and it's hard to maneuver on trails and switchbacks and stuff like that out west. It's hard to back up, and if you truck's big enough as it is, and then you got a 30-something foot trailer, with the tire to tongue, and 20-something foot pickup truck. You got a right good rig here pulling up those switchbacks. But the 145 definitely, if you're gonna do a lot of off road, single wheel, pretty. You lose a little bit of the stuff in it, but it's a lot less expensive. But it's just as capable. It's probably more capable than the 195. But do I have any regrets? No, I don't have any regrets because I've enjoyed it, and we've been a lot of places in this camper. Um, and it's a well built camper. Excuse me, manufacturer did not build the Truma. They just bought it and put it in here. They didn't buy the isotherm fridge, which is a really nice fridge. They bought it. They put it in here. Um, the frame, yeah, I don't know. I noticed they had some frames out here now in the yard, and they've thickened the gussets. So maybe they've corrected that problem as far as the cracking of the frame. Uh, Solar panels, I know the brackets that they originally had, the 4 brackets that mounted it to the roof, each solar panel, they were a little thinner metal, kind of an L or Z bracket thing that they manufacture or had manufactured. Um, they they did replace those. They've gone to a bigger and a thicker gauge metal. Um, so they've tried. They've improved everything. I believe they came from the ice fishing part of the RV world. It gets cold up here in Wisconsin. It They say it's good up to 100. I mean, it's good to 40 degrees below zero, maybe a little more. They say that they can keep the water lines from freezing at 40 below. I'll tell you, when I went out to Moab this past year, it was really hot. It was about 114 degrees, and there's no shade. If you'd have been in shade, I think we'd have been able to do it. We actually had to leave where we were at and find some shade. The air condition just couldn't cool the unit off with 114-degree heat with the sun beating down on top of it. So yeah, it got pretty hot inside here. It was in the high 80s, maybe 90s. Um, so with that being said, you know everything has its limit. Um, as far as I would say, if you're going to use this for a base camp and go out and stay for an unlimited amount of time until you run out of water, maybe take extra water. Uh, you won't run out of solar if you've got sun. Um, you got plenty of power with the inverter and the dry flush toilet. Just 20 20 20 flushes, and you bag it up and throw it away and put another bag in it, and you just keep doing that, so you really don't run out of that. It's just an all-around good unit. So, and I don't know that, come Monday, it's Saturday evening now, so I don't know, come Monday morning, I'm not sure if he's going to tell me, hey, it's working, I can't fix it if it ain't broke. That's not what I'm hoping to hear. I'm hoping to hear, hey, well, we're going to replace it because you've had some issues, and we'll figure it out and go from there. So that's where we're at right now. That's why I'm up here. But I appreciate you watching, and I'll keep you up to date and let you know what they do with the heater, the Truma Combi. Well, good morning, everybody. I'm over here in Minnesota. It's morning 4 on my trip up to St. Croix Falls, Wisconsin. I met with the owner of the Imperial Outdoors uh, RV manufacturer this morning. I think he knows the seriousness of it about, you know, the um, unpredictability about maybe not working, and I'm really hoping that he's going to replace the Truma Combi. So I just took a ride across the river over to Minnesota and drove up here, and there's a state park here. Um, I don't know how you really get to it. I just saw this entrance here, and it takes you down to the, I guess it's the St. Croix River. I'm assuming. But there's supposed to be some camping back in there and everything. So maybe during the summertime it's open. Maybe it's just a service road to get you into the park. The river's back there, so just right on the other side there is Wisconsin, and I'm in Minnesota. So I just thought I'd stop and give you a quick update on progress. Um, and I'm sure, I feel comfortable that they're going to swap it out for a new one. I hope. Also, that camper has a Cruise Master air suspension. Believe it or not, guess what went wrong? The air compressor has stopped working. So I have to manually air the airbags up. And that's a pretty quick fix. And I know he's going to take care of that also. I know it hasn't been that real exciting video, but hopefully informational about the X195. I'm still standing behind them, even if you don't change it. It seems it seems to be working right now, but it's a hit and miss. It's got something loose inside, maybe circuit board, or I don't know. I don't know why it does what it does, and I don't think they'll know. And hopefully Truma will take it back and open it up and figure it out, and maybe solve that problem so no one else has it. Well, we've left St. Croix Falls, Wisconsin about 11:30 this morning. And yes, we were successful in replacing the Truma Combi. As far as it working and everything, well, I was going to stay tonight up there, but I decided to leave. So we let it run for an hour and a half. We would, cycle it on, cycle it off, do some temperature changes in the unit by opening doors and stuff, running the hot water. And for an hour and a half, everything seemed to be, pretty good. Well, hello, everybody. Back in Virginia, it's Friday, the day after Thanksgiving. This past Monday, up in Wisconsin, they replaced the Truma Combi, and I haven't cut it off since, and it's been running flawless. It cycles on, cycles off. I have it set on 65, and just got in the camper a couple minutes ago, and it's 65. And so it's maintaining heat. It's about 42 outside today, I think. We've been below freezing the last night or so, and so it's working like it should. And just wanted to let you know, give you an update. Please like and subscribe, and feel free to leave any comments that you might have. I just want to give you my 2-year review on the X195, and as I've said in the video prior, I would recommend buying one if you have a need. It's a good camper. It's a good off-road camper. I've had several different type of off-road campers, and this one has fit the bill for most everything that we do. So with that being said, I hope you had a nice Thanksgiving, and thanks for watching.